Have you ever started planning a quantitative usability test and felt unsure about whether you should include questionnaires? And if so, which questions should you ask, and when in the study should you ask them? In this video, I'll walk through two types of questionnaires used in quantitative usability testing: post-task and post-test questionnaires. Post-task questionnaires are administered immediately after a participant finishes a task, while it's fresh in the participant's mind. They are short, usually about 1 to 3 questions, quick to answer, and barely interrupt the testing flow. You'll want to use the same post-task questionnaires after every task, so you can compare results consistently across each task in the session. That's why it's important to keep it short to only about 1 to 3 questions per task. This prevents participants from getting survey fatigued or rushing through their answers. A very common post-task questionnaire is the single ease question, or SEQ for short. The SEQ asks, how easy or difficult was that task? And users respond by giving a rating from 1 to 7. It quickly provides a snapshot of perceived task difficulty. So why should we use post-task questionnaires? Number 1, to capture immediate feedback. Since the questionnaire comes right after the task, participants don't have to rely on memory. They can provide more accurate feedback while it's still fresh on their minds. And number 2, to identify specific usability issues. Since each post-task questionnaire is tied to a specific interaction, you can isolate which part of the experience is causing trouble. Maybe task 1 is rated as more difficult than task 2 or task 3 on average. That's a clear signal to take a closer look at that part of the experience. Now, you might have more questions you want to ask participants than just the 1, 2, or 3 that you asked after each task. This is where post-test questionnaires come in. They're administered at the end of a session after all tasks are completed. They allow you to ask more questions and help you capture participants' reactions to the overall experience. Common post-task questionnaires include the System Usability Scale, or SUS, which has 10 questions and measures perceived usability, as well as a Standardized User Experience Percentile Rank Questionnaire, or supr-q, which contains 8 questions and evaluates perceptions not only about usability, but also around credibility, appearance, and loyalty. Deciding which one to use depends on your research question. If you're focused solely on usability, the SUS is a simple and widely accepted choice. But if you're testing a live website and want to understand users' broader impressions, like how trustworthy or visually appealing it feels, supr-q offers a more comprehensive view. Now, you might be wondering, do I have to choose between using only post-task or only post-test questionnaires in my study? The answer is that in most studies, it's actually best to use both. Using both post-task and post-test questionnaires helps you connect the dots between specific pain points and the overall impression users walk away with. And that combination leads to a more complete, actionable picture of usability. Just keep in mind that using both will make your session longer, so it's important to budget time accordingly and avoid making your participants feel rushed. Let's walk through an example. Imagine you're running a quantitative usability test on a hotel website, and one of the tasks involves booking a hotel room. Right after completing that task, the participant sees a post-task questionnaire, the SEQ, which asks, how easy or difficult was that task? This captures immediate feedback on that interaction. Then, the next task involves finding the hotel's check-in and check-out times. After completing it, the participant answers the same post-task questionnaire again, the SEQ. This process repeats for each of the remaining tasks. Doing so helps maintain consistency, making it easier to compare perceived difficulty across tasks. Then towards the end of the session, after the participant has finished all tasks, you administer the SUS as a post-test questionnaire to understand their overall perception of the site's usability. With this approach, you're collecting task-specific insights and getting a big picture view at the end, all within the same study. Ultimately, using the right questionnaire at the right time helps you gather more targeted, meaningful insights from your usability test.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, nngroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offer live hands-on UX training.